What's good, everyone? Clay Allen back again, and we're here today to expand on some of these subjects that I touched on very lightly in my previous 2 Kyrie videos. In those videos, I sort of was just speaking on general topics, but in this video, we're really going to get into the meat of everything. This is the culmination of it all. I've had this video idea in mind basically ever since this news broke, because when this story came out, just like with any other news story, everyone automatically wants to find a reason. Everyone wants that quick, sexy headline. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves in NBA news, is that as soon as a story breaks out, people go and search for a reason. They jump to a conclusion and they create something basically out of nothing. They find something or someone or some feeling or whatever it is to put the blame for the story on. And depending on how big this news source is, like for example Stephen A. Smith, he's got a very big influence. So if he says something that's jumping to conclusions, it can really misdirect a lot of casual NBA fans that just eat this type of shit up. And they end up basing their entire opinions and their entire perspective on what someone might have said. And even not just NBA fans, but smaller news sources will take this and run with it, and you get just a bunch of copycat stories. So in the case of this news story with Kyrie, the label everyone wants to put on this is that Kyrie is requesting this trade because he wants to be the man, basically because he wants the glory, he wants to be the primary guy. And part of that, it's obviously partially true, but it's not completely true. And in this video, we're going to talk about the real reason why Kyrie has chosen to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers, or at least chosen to try to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers. We don't know yet if the Cavs are going to opt to try to lock him up and try to get him to change his mind, which is also something we'll touch on in this video. But the first thing I want to point out, which should have been a very clear sign that all of these news headlines are pretty much false, is that Kyrie actually gave a list of teams that he wanted to go to. And apart from the Miami Heat, all of the teams on that list, he's not going to be the only star. He's not going to get all the glory. He's still going to be playing next to someone. In San Antonio, obviously, he's got Kawhi next to him. Yes, some of it is true. He'd have the glory there. He'd be the primary ball handler, the primary scorer there in San Antonio. But Kawhi would still be the face of that franchise. And then in Minnesota and New York, there's also some other guys that he's going to have to share the spotlight with. In New York, he's going to be playing alongside Kristaps. And then in Minnesota, there's already Jimmy Butler there, who I would rank to be slightly better than Kyrie himself. And again, Kyrie may get the glory there. He'd be the primary ball handler. He'd be the alpha. But at the end of the day, he's not requesting to go to some teams like the Magic or like the Mavericks or something like that. He's requesting to go to these teams who have other superstars. He wants to play with other superstars. He doesn't want to be a lone wolf. He wants to go and link up with other guys. So you might ask me, why would he want to link with other guys when he could just stay in Cleveland and play with 2 other stars in LeBron and Kevin Love? And the answer is that yes, he wants to play with other stars, but he doesn't want to play with LeBron. LeBron can be a very overbearing presence. He's a great player, of course. He is King James after all, but he's very controlling, and because he's King James, he's allowed to be bossy. He can basically say and do whatever he wants, and teams have to keep him satisfied. They don't want to piss him off because they don't want him to leave. That's gotta be a problem when you're a guy like Kyrie. We know that multiple times in LeBron's past, he's had real issues with not being able to support the young guys very well. He generally just calls out his teammates, which you might look at and say tough love, but there's a certain situation to do this. Like if you want to give someone tough love, you go out them in practice, you give them a private one-on-one talk about what they're not doing right and how they can improve. You know, real critical thinking. But when you go out to the public and you blast them publicly, that's a whole different story. So this overbearing, controlling presence by LeBron has got to be a big nuisance when you're playing alongside him, especially when you're another superstar, because your voice is going to die out in comparison to LeBron. No one is going to hear Kyrie when he's complaining. The team, the organization, the management, they're all going to be worried first about what LeBron wants, not what Kyrie wants. They're going to try to fill his needs, so Kyrie's voice is going to go unheard. And that's what I think is the real reason why he wants to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's taking matters into his own hands now. He's not going to sit around and wait. Now, this is a way for him to force his voice to be heard by management. There's no way they can ignore these matters because this affects LeBron, who is the player that they're so worried about. If Kyrie leaves, it's very likely that LeBron is going to leave as well. And it was already pretty likely that LeBron was going to leave either way. Kyrie has no idea. Kyrie's probably gone to management in the past and tried to change things, tried to change the workings of the team and make it more of a collaborative effort, to make it more of a democracy. But LeBron, as evidenced by his self-proclaimed nickname, likes to be the king. He's not up for democracy. He's the king. He's got the final say. He's got the final word. The team runs through him, not with him. And when we see reports that Kyrie has been hinting at this move for quite some time, it makes me believe that there was some sort of ultimatum that he gave management for them to change the way things work, or else something's gonna happen. And they probably didn't take him seriously, and he didn't appreciate that. He's already a championship. He's already an NBA champion. There's not much more for him to gain in this situation right now. And this is going to be a big problem with LeBron no matter what team he plays for. If he goes down to LA and plays with those young guys over there, I don't think that would work out because of his overbearing presence and his impatient personality. He doesn't have the patience to deal with these young guys and to bring them up behind him. And that's why I keep pushing in a lot of these videos where I talked about this. I've been pushing that LeBron should go to San Antonio and play with Kawhi. And why is that? Because Kawhi is a very behind-the-scenes, quiet kind of player. He's not going to get upset when LeBron is the guy calling all the shots. And of course, he's already a certified superstar in this league, so he doesn't really need, pampering and being brought up, which is something that LeBron, as we talked about, is not good at. Now, a lot of people have compared this to the Kobe-Shaq situation and talked about the possibility that the Cavs actually don't trade Kyrie, they don't honor his trade requests at all, and they keep him on the team against his will, and then eventually change his mind. I don't feel that this is something that could realistically happen. I think it's something that the Cavs may try to do in a desperate attempt, but the only way this would work out is if they were able to trade LeBron, and LeBron is not going to be traded. Like I talked about in one of my previous videos, he wants to save his image, his legacy in Cleveland. He's not going to turn his back on that franchise again, not in like kind of a cruel, cold manner like that, and waive his no trade clause. He's already said publicly that he's not waiving his trade clause. I still think he's leaving the Cavaliers, but I think he's going to leave it in a respectable, classy fashion. He's not going to want it to look like he forced his way out to get away with playing with Kyrie. Actually, this whole situation plays very well into LeBron's plans because LeBron now has all the more reason to leave without being hated because Kyrie already left him. And that's why he's the one who leaked the rumors of this publicly, because it plays into his agenda. And that's exactly the type of thing I'm talking about. That's exactly the type of individual over team persona that LeBron possesses and shows so much of. A person who's a team player would have kept this on the down low. They wouldn't have leaked this information to the public. They would have done what's best for the team and maybe spoke to Kyrie one-on-one about this situation. But no, LeBron decides that he wants to do what's best for him, which is normally going to be LeBron's choice. Now, I'm not trying to bash LeBron, but these are just the facts of the matter, and we've seen this time and time again in the past. And that's why he's got to go to a team like San Antonio next season, not a young team like Philadelphia or Los Angeles, even if another superstar like Paul George goes and joins him in LA. So yeah, Drew Gooden talked about, he kind of was joking about it, but he said that LeBron and Kyrie should scrap this whole situation out and then come out of the fight with the situation resolved and the issues kind of cleared, clear the air through this. But there's no way that the Cavs can clear the air. That ship has sailed. Kyrie does not want to play alone. Kyrie doesn't want all the glory. He wants more glory than he's currently receiving.
Kristen called LeBron a great father after the Chicago game. What? Yes, he did.
Great father. Oh, a great father. Oh, I thought you. No, I interpreted that completely wrong. I thought you said he was a great father to him. I was like, what?
Called him a great father. So, what type of parental role has he played for you and your teammates, LeBron?
Oh, okay. So you. Parental role. Honestly, he's. I don't know how to really answer that question. He's been a great leader for us. I have one father. That's my dad, Kyrie Irving.
Not being appreciated as a true superstar in the league because he's playing next to such a great player like LeBron. A lot of people underrate him, say he's just a highlight reel player, he's just an and one player, whatever. He's not. Kyrie is a true superstar, and he's out to prove that. He's out to prove that he can do more than what he showed when he was alone, like 20, 21 years old, playing on the Cavs all alone. And you know what? I actually think that if he went and joined a team like San Antonio, that team would actually be better and have a better shot at winning a title than LeBron with the Cavs without Kyrie, with just Derrick Rose and a few trade pieces that they get in return for Kyrie. So that's it for this video, guys. A quick reminder that the Clay Allen shirts are available for 8 more days. Teespring.com/Clay Allen, the link in the description, link at the end screen. Represent the greatness and the 3-point dominance of today and yesterday in the NBA simultaneously with this Klay Thompson Ray Allen hybrid t-shirt. Clay Allen, stay ballin', signing off. Peace.